Cabela's Arcticreel. This is a creel. Primarily, I would think used for trout fishing is what I was, the way I was raised. I guess you could store any kind of fish in it. But this is the Cabela's version. Made by the Denver Tent Company, if I understand that right. Let's see if it says that inside. No, this one does not say that. But my understanding was Denver Tent Company made all of these creels. Orvis got one made with Orvis, Cabela's, obviously Cabela's, and Eddie Bauer, I know, had one. LL Bean, I think so. That's all I know for sure right now. But and then you had the one, and I've thought I've even seen these Cabela's creels that even said I thought I saw them before where they said Denver Tent Company Athlon. I can't remember now. That's funny that but anyway, Denver Tent Company, and I think I did see them online some time ago, but I do know this. These are very hard to get anymore. Now, I saw we've used these creels for 40 years. Not this one, but this type of creel right here we have used for 40 years, my family. Of course, I had one of those cheap green ones when I was first starting, and then, you know, when I was a kid 40 years ago, my dad had one of these. Then I upgraded to something called a polar creel. Now, and it was the smaller size, like you can find this Arcticreel. Back then I didn't know much about it, still not an expert. This is genuine Scotch flax. The polar creel, if I'm not mistaken, is made out of, what is it? Oh man. It's a different material. And I would like to find out which one is best. You know, what I tried to look it up, and I tried to look up actually the difference of those two materials one time. And I came up with the article that was talking directly about it, but the thing was, it wasn't about creels, obviously. It was about like painting. Scotch flax versus burlap. I'm telling it wrong. Man, I didn't have my stuff together when I started making this video, and I apologize for that. But I just wanted to make a note of this Cabela's Arcticreel. This is the big version. It's got a 16-inch, scale here. You could measure your fish. You know, it's 16 inches. If it barely fits in there, if he's curled up, he's probably 18 plus. This one's nice. There's an attachment that was made for these creels. I think it was made for this one or the smaller size one that you can put on here. It's called the tackle pocket, I think. This one has a built-in tackle pocket. I mean, I don't know what else you would call it. It's got the zipper there where you can store stuff. Somebody stored a paper towel in there maybe for, you know, it's just like the inside of the creel inside of there. My dad used to carry a box that had spinners, and mainly spinners and lures in it, I would think. And I think he always carried his split shots and hooks, maybe just straight in his vest. But he did used to have a little box, a little brown box. I wish I could find it because I want to start using it again. I carried it for a little while, and then I misplaced it. But had his spinners in there and everything. He kept that in that pocket. Of course, you could do, you could keep whatever you wanted in there, spare spool, forceps, I mean, whatever. I attached that stuff to my vest. I don't really carry a spare spool anymore, even though I should put one in my vest. I don't. But a lot of times what I do is actually what I'll do is I'll put either a banana or apple in there. And also another thing that I have carried in there is my fish bags. I use plastic fish bags to put the fish in plastic and wet them, while I'm cleaning them, field dress, and I'll put them in a plastic bag. It used to be newspaper bags. We used to get somebody to save newspaper bags for us. But anyway, and I would keep me, whenever I would head out, I would get me a bag or two, put one, maybe put both of them in there until I catch a fish, and then pull one out and start using it or whatever. Anyways, this is the Cabela's Arcticreel. I think it is made by Denver Tent Company. Although the tag inside here doesn't say that, I'm sure there's a explanation for that. It's got this thing on the back, and I mean, I'm sure that at some point in time they maybe quit putting that in there. Maybe Cabela's didn't want them to, but I'm pretty sure I have seen it on the Cabela's creels. You know, you can see that this thing right here is made to keep you dry. You know, so the Scotch Flax can keep your fish cool. And I wish I could think of that other material. I'll do another creel review, and I'll find out what it was, what that material was. But the Polar Creel was, I guess, a different company. And they make a lot of these now. They're cheap. You can pick them up cheap, but I don't know how much, what it's made out of and all that. This Scotch Flax, don't even know the whole. You know, if you want to comment and tell me, you know, or to tell somebody about it if you know, feel free to comment down and explain what you know about it. I don't know what Scotch Flax is, but it must be an expensive material, because these range in price, even back in the day, a whole lot more than those cheap ones that are made out of burlap, or I don't even know what they're made out of. But this right here must just hold up better. I think it's something to do with the you know, cooling of it as well. I think it is a self-cooling creel. I think when water gets on this, somehow it keeps the things a little bit cooler. That's the premise of having a creel, is to keep your fish from spoiling. So anyway, Cabela's Arcticreel, just wanted to do a little review on it. And just so you know, if you want to do an honest review on it, this is the standard for me, man. I wouldn't want it. This is what kind of creel I want. I don't like those wicker basket creels. The man who taught me, you know, one of my big mentors, he used to have one of those wicker ones. I'm scared that I'm too rough with things. I would probably beat that up. So this is the standard for me. I love the big size. I used the small size for years when I first started, you know, getting into it, as far as like using these on my own and all. But I got to where now I just like to go with a big one. I carry my worms in there. I put a beating on these, man. I put, you know, with fish, and then I carry my worms because I'm got too much gut on me right now to put the you know, I don't like carrying my worms on my belt anymore, because it's just, you know, another hindrance for me. So it works out better to keep my worms in my worm box that attaches to your belt that I use. Made by Flambeau. That'll be another video showing my gear that I use. But this one is the standard for me. You know, I've got a couple of the tackle pockets. I don't really use those. If I go one day, I'm going to try to go on a trip that's going to be like a bucket list type of thing. I've got this place where I want to go. It's about a mile hike up in the woods. And when I take that trip, I'll probably take my tackle packet so I can carry extra, you know, might even carry extra camera or whatever. Anyway, that's the Cabela's Arcticreel.